All right, guys, welcome to the Spine and Rehab Specialist podcast series. We've kind of been on a little bit of a break, and we definitely want to get this back, so we're excited to get back into our podcast series. And with me today is Jadrian Taylor. JT,
yes,
how you doing?
Sir. I'm good.
Good.
Best days of my life, So
Just because you're here, right? It's awesome. Yeah. So, for anybody that's from El Paso, definitely should know who JT is. Player for UTEP, kind of a star defensive player this year. So you should know him. If you're part of the Spine and Rehab Specialist family, you should also know JT because he was actually in a podcast with us last year.
Yep.
But before the season. So, but we still need to introduce you, JT. So you are from East Texas.
East Texas.
Middle of nowhere, right?
East Texas, man.
Lufkin.
Very country, very rural area. Crockett is where I was born and raised. That's 7,000 people. Then I moved to Lufkin, and that's where I spent the remainder of my years at through high school and stuff. And I probably like 37,000 people there. So both small cities, But I felt like Lufkin was pretty big back in the day. I was like, man, I got some people out here, man.
So for anybody that doesn't really know where Lufkin is, it's like a couple of hours north of Houston, east of Dallas, probably closest to Shreveport.
About 50 minutes from Shreveport.
Yeah.
Just like
middle of nowhere.
Yep, middle of nowhere.
So tell me a little bit about your high school football days.
Yeah, so I didn't get to start or really get playing time on varsity to my senior year. So my senior year, that was my first time really touching the field. Because my freshman year, I did good and everything. I was on the freshman team, and then my next year, they had a lot of depth, like on the chart, with a lot of good DNs that really projected to go like to good schools and stuff. So I had to stay on JV. Then my next year we had 4 senior defensive ends. So I had to stay down then. And then I ended up finally playing my last year, and then I finally went out there and I did good. I got a defensive MVP out there. I had like maybe 6.5 sacks.
Okay. Hey, that's
that was my first year really like, okay, now I'm like that guy now.
Yeah, so you didn't really play yourself enough in the limelight to really get any offers from D1 schools?
No offers.
None?
Not even D3, not even D2, man. It was just, I just really had to, I had a JUCO offer from a school in California called Victor Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
Shout out to Victor Valley. I guess I can have a shout out.
Yeah, might as well, right?
In California, you don't get scholarships or anything, so you really just have to struggle. And I was supposed to go with one of my teammates, but he ended up leaving, so I would have just been there by myself, and then I would have to go home. Yeah. But someone referred me to walk on at Kilgore, and I ended up going to a tryout and walking on.
So where's Kilgore?
It's in East Texas too.
It is?
Yeah.
It's middle of nowhere?
In middle of nowhere.
Still?
Yeah. Middle of nowhere. It's probably about 40,000 maybe. It got some neighboring cities like Tyler, Texas and Longview, Texas that, they're pretty well known in East Texas, pretty big cities in East Texas. So I had stuff to do around there, but I wasn't on the team my first year. And they kind of had my redshirt year too. So I would have had another redshirt year, but since that I walked on at Kilgore, that took away my redshirt year.
Okay.
So I walked on there. I actually got kicked off the team.
Kicked off the team?
Yeah.
Why?
So when I finally got into the walk-on program, I was late by 3 minutes. I was late. I remember like it was nothing. I just walked in. Look, it was like week 3 of camp. I walked in like 3 minutes late because they always start early. If you come in on time, you're already late. You know go home. So I walked in like 3 minutes late because my power was out in my apartment, in my dorm.
I'm sure you had a good reason for it.
I had a good reason.
Of course.
They didn't care. They did not care. So since I walked in, I was like, hey, go home. So I had to just go home. Then I came back and, talked to my D-line coach. I said, appreciate you for everything that you did. Coach B, shout out Coach B. And I said, like, thank you for everything. You tried your best, to try to get me out there or whatever, try to turn me into a man and stuff. And I messed it up. So then he talked to the head coach and got me like suspension instead of me getting kicked out the team. So I joined back on the team. And my first year I did solid with my minutes. I didn't play much. I was just a special teams guy. And then I finally played my last year. It's always my last year when I get to play. It's always my last year when I get to play. So I finally played my last year and I did good. I had 6.5 sacks again.
Okay.
So I was a solid year, so I was still splitting time with, because, everybody trying to get out in JUCO. You don't want to be selfish and you're the only one playing. Like, the backups had to play because they trying to get out too, just like you. So, shout out to Zach. That was that's who I was with, on my side, playing defensive end. And we split in reps and stuff. So I had 6.5 sacks. That was a good season, and I got a couple of D1 offers. I think my first D1 offer was ACU, Abilene Christian University. Okay. And then HBU, Houston Baptist, and then UTEP. And I came on a visit to UTEP. I actually canceled a visit to Jackson State. So I was going to go to Jackson State on a visit, and I ended up going to UTEP instead, and I committed on the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I came down here, I loved it, and Coach Dillon was a good guy, and I ended up just committing on the spot, And that was one of the best decisions in my life, I feel like, because, El Paso really messed with me, and I really messed with El Paso. Really got a lot of love down here.
Yeah, El Paso tends to grow on you.
Yeah, it does. That's why a lot of people that come to UTEP, they stay in El Paso after.
Yeah.
Like, even though if they stuff don't go good after football, they stay in here because it's a good city. You know what I mean? It's a good city.
It really is.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that when you came to UTEP the first time, was your first time on a plane?
Yeah, that was my first time on the plane, man. My first time on the escalator, man. Shout out to the escalator. I never went on no escalator before. Like I thought that was only in the movies. You know what I mean? I ain't never seen, because everything in East Texas, it's one story.
Yeah.
Everything one story. You ain't got to worry about no escalators.
No escalators.
No, even my dorms that I stayed in was 8 stories tall. 32 men on each floor, 4 restaurants. So it was really like it was 4 restaurants on each floor. It was basically like a prison. And the elevator would always break and stuff, so you had to really go up the stairs. Ain't no escalator. It's going right up. You gotta go. I stayed on the 7th floor. I had to walk up there every time, man. Groceries and all. So I ain't know nothing about no escalator and all them planes and stuff. And my first time flying out. My mom first time flying was got here too. So we both flew out here and had a great time. And I committed on the spot,
Yeah.
I ain't never seen no mountains before. All I seen is cattle and grass and trees. That's all I've ever seen. So
yeah, not a lot of cattle here, and definitely no trees in El Paso.
No trees, no cattle. I ain't seen no cow. I ain't seen no cow in so long. Until I go back home. That's the only time I see one.
So you played 3 years?
3 years. My first year, I didn't play as much. I was kind of playing out of position. I played 3. They had 3 down, so I was playing like a 3-tech type. So I'm a little bit small for that position. But I still should have been out there for sure. But my size kind of hindered me from playing. So I only played 3 games my first year. We only played 8 in all because of COVID. The COVID year, that was crazy. But I ended up playing 3 games. I did decent. And then my second year when they brought Coach Peavy in, and I played more of my position, like kind of like a hybrid DN linebacker. And I really excelled at it my second year here. And I got 6.5. It's always 6.5.
6.5, right?
I don't know. I got 6.5 sacks for 3 years in a row. So I had 6.5, and I started putting my name, started getting out there in El Paso. So people started knowing who I am and everything. My teammates started respecting me. Well, I always had to respect, but when you start really standing on what you're saying, I always say I'm one of the best. I always have a lot of confidence. So when I started really playing like that, that's when I got a lot more respect. And then my last year, y'all just seen it. 9.5 sacks. That's the most I ever had in the season. And 100-yard fumble recovery.
That was so awesome. So this was at Charlotte, and I travel with the team, so I'm there, and all of a sudden I see kind of on the opposite ends, see a lot of stuff happening, and all of a sudden I see this big dude just barreling down, and I'm like, wait, that's JT. He's like, oh my goodness.
It was crazy because I heard touchdown, but I seen the ball. Because they said touchdown, I just picked it up. Hold on, man. I picked the ball up and I started running. Because I didn't know if it was a touchdown or not, so I said, okay.
Run with it, right?
Just in case it's not a touchdown, I'm going to go make my own touchdown. And that's exactly what I did. I know nobody was going to catch me. You see my teammates trying to catch me out there.
I know. Those were the only ones that kind of got close, but they still didn't catch up.
Yeah, I wasn't going to let them happen. I got to show that speed off. You know what I mean? I was tired, though. I'll tell you that. I need a breathing machine after that, man.
Yeah, I saw you sitting on the bench after that.
Man,
it looks tired.
Y'all see me? I ain't celebrate or nothing. I just people. I was leaving people hanging. Everybody like this. I'm like tired, man. I was tired. I'll tell you that.
But hey, made the ESPN highlights.
Yeah,
so that was awesome.
I've never been on ESPN before, so that was definitely a moment. And then it was like, I think that happened at was that before halftime? So when I came into the locker room at halftime, it was like, hey, bro, you just went viral. Like, everybody was like, hey, yo, everybody got a notification with my name on it and everything. So I was like, bro, that's hard. I ain't never,
good way to get your name out there.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that before.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That was one of my best games here. I would say that was my best game because I was gonna say LA Tech when I had the 3.5 sacks, but I would say that game is more because I had 3 sacks, touchdown, forced fumble, 3 TFLs, 6 tackles. I think I'd take that over that game.
Yeah, that was awesome though. But I think you had a really, really good year. I know if you look at your Conference USA sack leader, top 20 in the country. You're in the record books in the top 5 for sacks in a season and sacks in a career in your 3 years. So that's pretty awesome. So a couple of weeks ago, we were looking at the NFL Combine. We're definitely hoping or not the NFL Combine, the drafts. Kind of hoping to see your name out there. Maybe we knew it was kind of an outside chance, right?
I didn't think so. 'Cause I was talking to some teams and everything. I talked to a good amount, about 5 teams, and I thought, the way they was talking and everything, it felt like I had a chance, you know, and especially with my stats and it's not like I'm doing it at like a D2 level or D1 double A. I did it at the FBS level, and I played against like teams like OU, Boise State, teams that are known for having good football teams and everything. So when I did it against those dudes and had a great season like that at this level, I felt like I had a chance for sure. But it's God's plan at the end of the day. I was definitely frustrated and hurt by everything because I watched every pick. I watched every pick.
What is it? 4 days long, 5 days long? It's just crazy how they prolong it.
I'm watching it just like this every pick. I'm like, man, I'm better than him. I'm better than him. I'm better than him too. I'm seeing dudes that's like having less stats and less. It's just the school. You know what I mean? It's a school they went to, so. I know it's all like kind of politics and everything, but I know I'm gonna get my shot one day. You know what I mean? So I'm going out here to the CFL. I've never been outside of Texas. Never lived outside of Texas. I've traveled, of course, to teams and everything, but never lived anywhere besides East Texas and El Paso.
Yeah. So now you're going to Canada.
And now I'm all the way.
Did you get your passport already?
Yes.
All right.
I get it tomorrow at 2:00. Hey.
So
if you're going anywhere, please. Get that passport handled fast because that thing is stressful to get. It's not a joke. Like you gotta. The first time they told me I won't have it till August. I'm like, man, this first game is June 9th. I gotta have that passport, man. So it was definitely a stressful process, but I got through it. I get my passport tomorrow, thank God, and I fly out Monday.
All right. So who are you gonna play for?
The Winnipeg Blue Bonners. So,
all right. So
they were just in a Grey Cup, which is like the NFL Super Bowl. They was just in the Grey Cup last year, and they went 15-3. So it's not like I'm going to like a coming up rebuilding team. I'm going to a great team.
Okay.
I'm coming in there to compete. You know what I mean?
So what do you know about Winnipeg?
I know it's a big city.
Yep.
I know it's cold, and that's pretty much it. I don't know much about it besides that.
I looked it up on the map too because I kind of knew where it was, and guess what? It's the middle of nowhere.
It's in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, it's the middle of nowhere. But at least it's a big city in the middle of nowhere.
It is a big city in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. It's about the size of El Paso, it looks like.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of like north of North Dakota.
Okay, yeah.
Sounds cold.
Yeah, it's cold. I looked it up today. It's 80 in El Paso. It's good weather, sun beaming. It's 50 degrees down there right now, and it's May.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I gotta get used to that for sure. All I got is UTEP hoodies. I'm gonna have to do a little bit better than now to go get down there and give me a bubble coat or something.
Yeah, probably. You may need that.
Yeah, I'm bringing my boots for sure though. You better believe me, I'm boots on.
I think you're gonna need that. So when does the season start? Because the season is a little different than the NFL, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of differences. Not a lot, but it's a good amount of differences. So the first game is June 9th.
Okay.
And the season, the last game is October. So it's kind of quicker, but it's more games.
Okay.
It's more games.
How many games do they play?
18.
18, okay.
It's 18 games. It's a lot of games for sure.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different For defenders, most definitely, because one, the receiver get a running start. So the receiver can like go in motion and keep on running, and he can run right past you easily.
Okay.
And another thing, it's only 3 down for the offense, so they make it harder. So, and I didn't know that Canada was like the original people who made football. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean there was Canadian football before American football.
Exactly. So I didn't know that. So those are like the original rules. You know what I mean? So we just kind of added on to it, but. It's only 3 down, so I'm gonna be pass rushing most of the game, which is what I'm the best at.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like it's gonna fit in like my scheme of play. So I'm definitely gonna excel though. I feel like.
I know you will.
Yeah,
I know you
most
will.
definitely.
Yeah. And I knew you were going to get an opportunity. We just didn't know where, but make the best out of it.
Yeah, it was just a process, but I know God got me, and my talent. He gave me this talent for a reason. I got to go show it to the other side of the country. I guess another country.
Another country. Exactly.
Yeah, I got to go show it.
So is your family going to come visit you?
Yes.
Mom have a passport?
No,
she's gonna have to get one.
She don't got a passport or nothing. She ain't used to having to do nothing like that. So I'm gonna have to get her a passport and stuff, or she can get her own passport. And she got to come out there. My aunties and my uncle, they probably come out there very soon. I'm move my girlfriend out there very soon. So it's gonna be a good time.
I have a passport.
Oh yeah, you can come out there too.
There you go.
I gotta give me a 3-bedroom, so I got a guest room. I gotta have a guest room for Harry, man.
That's right.
Always invited.
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna, we're gonna have to look for you on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna imagine that the Canadian Football League is gonna be on TV somewhere.
Yeah.
So
I've seen some on Hulu.
Yeah.
Like if you got the Hulu live thing, you just watch it. Like kind of
Okay.
like. So, especially like they send link. It's everything online now, so you can get a link or anything. I can send it out, and you can watch it from there, or it might be on TV. So, I don't know how that works, but I know I think I gotta change like my phone plan or something, cause
probably.
Yeah, cause I don't know how.
AT&T works across the border, they say, right?
Yeah.
That's the Mexican border. How it works again?
I don't know.
On the other side of the Canadian border too. So
I had to see for sure, because I got to be able to make these calls and talk to my friends and family and everything.
Yeah. And then we got to see. So Alvin Jones was also playing in Canada, right? Former UTEP player. So I don't know if he's still going to play this year or not, but he was. I think it was Saskatchewan. So.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
May get to play him.
Yeah, I will. It's only 9 teams.
Okay.
So everybody plays everybody at least 2 times. You know what I mean? So I'll definitely play him. And my homeboy, he plays for the Toronto.
Okay.
For the Toronto team, and he's the highest paid DN in Canada right now. So he definitely like that guy. He went to like 6 Grey Cups and everything. He like the Tom Brady out there, man.
All right, so. Good. Since we're going live, did we get any kind of questions, or definitely if anybody has any questions, since we're doing this live?
Yeah, if I got any questions, man, just comment. I can read like this.
You'll go sideways, right?
Yeah, I got any questions about the process, anything.
So you guys have, so they're starting June, June what? What'd you say?
June 9th is the first game.
Okay, so
and
just
like the NFL, they got like a mini camp.
Okay,
camp.
so that's where you're going now?
Yep, I'm going out there for a rookie camp and everything, and just prove myself and everything. They only have 25 Americans on the roster.
Okay, is that the maximum that they can have?
That's the maximum they can have. So,
and is their team about the same size as NFL teams?
Yeah, so you got a 53-man left. I think you got like 49.
Okay.
So, I mean, those spots are definitely like important, but they only have 49, and I just gotta be the one to make it. You know what I mean?
You will.
And I know.
Of course you will.
Yeah, I trust. I always bet on myself, man. I always bet on myself. Is that a question? What was the most surprising part of any Cup and CFL? The most surprising, I guess, that I have to move. Like, I never seen nothing like that. Like, coming to El Paso was surprising to me. Like, even though it's in Texas, it just me having to move that far away. I'll be in a foreign country, which is very similar. I think it's kind of similar to America.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's similar, but it's still like a whole different culture. Or, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna hear some French. You're gonna have to pick up a couple of French words at least. I know Canadians, pretty much all I think are bilingual, speaking French and English, but
yeah, most definitely. I don't know if there's gonna be any black people or anything, but
some other football players probably.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely on the football team. Just around, it's barely any black people here. It's like a lot of Hispanic people, of course. So I had to get used to that. That was kind of like a culture shock for me too.
Well, we actually have a Black Canadian physical therapist working for us.
Oh wow!
So there are definitely Black Canadians.
Yeah, it definitely is. I've seen they have some on the soccer team and stuff. Some Black
Yeah,
Canadian.
definitely.
Now I'm Canadian, I guess. I'm Canadian, man. If I have a kid, though, he'll be Canadian for real.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. See if there's any other questions or not.
Let me see. Which NFL team did you? Okay, that's a good question. What do I want to go? I want to.
Don't say Cowboys.
Look, it's not because I'm a Cowboys fan. You know I'm a Lions fan.
Yes.
But as far as my family goes, my whole family's a Cowboys fan. I want them to, they never went to a Cowboys game. A lot of my people didn't never go to a Cowboys game. So, of course, I want to go there and, fulfill my dream and their dream, at the same time. And I want to stay in Texas for the rest of my life. I'm a Texas dude for real. So, and I'll be close to home. I can, do all my stuff and everything. So, definitely Dallas or Houston, anywhere close, like in the South. So New Orleans, I go there, stuff like that. But definitely Cowboys number 1. Okay. Not because I'm a Cowboys fan. Okay. I'm a Lions fan, man. I can't go back.
Do you have any other questions?
Let me see. No, I haven't got nothing else right now. Let me look through.
Yeah, just look through them real quick. So it's definitely for us. It's been a pleasure working with JT. We kind of helped him throughout the season, and it's just been really, really good to follow you and see lift up the UTEP defense. Yeah, I think we had a pretty good defensive year. So thanks to you. So
yeah, I love how I was here and I seen the culture change. From having a 1-11 team to a 3-5 team to a 6-7.
Actually, no, 5-7, I think.
No, the year before.
Oh, the year before that, yeah.
Yeah, 6 and 7, then 5, which is not the best years, but it's definitely a movement to the right direction. It's going up. It's not going down. He said, "Which number do I want?" Man, you know what number I want, man. I want that 11. I need them sticks. I need them 2 sticks on my jersey, man. I ain't gonna ask for it yet, though. I ain't gonna come in there cocky.
Yeah, you can't do that. So 11 was actually my number too.
Oh, okay. See, Harry was. I get that 11.
I didn't play football, but I played soccer.
I get that 11 energy from Harry.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a different energy that 11 just has out there.
My birthday, 11/11.
Wow.
So that's why I was 11.
Yes,
always.
I want that number 11.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask for it eventually. Let me get the 1-on-1s and show them what I got first. And then I'm gonna, can I get 11? You know what I mean? That's how it's gonna go right there. I ain't gonna just ask for it out there.
I'm sure you'll get it. So.
Yeah.
All right, JT. Well, it was just awesome having you here. Glad that you were a UTEP minor for 3 years, and glad you were part of the spine and rehab specialist family for a little bit. And thanks for coming out and announcing your move to Canada.
Most definitely, and I appreciate everything y'all did for me and everything. Y'all got me 100%. Because my hands, I was so scared I wasn't gonna be able to play, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. So on pro day.
Pro day, yeah. Yes. So my pro day, I pulled my hamstring. If y'all don't know, on my 40. You know what I mean? So it was definitely heartbreaking because I'm one of the fastest dudes on the team. I was used to just running fast and not pulling nothing. I'm getting old. I'm getting too old to just be running these 40s, I guess. I can't be running 40s all day. So I pulled my hamstring and then I had to recover before the camp. I wouldn't be doing it without this guy right here, man. I wouldn't be doing it without spinal rehab. I would not be 100%. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, been a pleasure helping you. So
appreciate it.
Awesome, JT. Well, so here was our next episode of the Spine and Rehab Specialist podcast. Thanks, JT, and good luck to you.
Thank you.